Hi everyone, as part of my paper stash smash, I made a mini album using Here Comes Easter from Cartabella. Side note, I forgot how much I love Cartabella paper. I just love its thickness and its texture and it's fabulous. Anyhow, Here Comes Easter 2012. I got it from a recent Echo Park warehouse sale. I just needed to stock up because I was running out of paper. I know. Crazy to believe. Anyhow, I made a shaped album. It's shaped like an Easter egg. And if you stay to the end of the video, I'm going to show you really quick how I made this on my Cricut machine. It is not a full-blown tutorial. It's just how to make a shaped album on your Cricut machine. If you have a Silhouette or another electronic die cutter, I can't help you. I can't tell whether or not it's the same. It's just easier for me to show you than to put it for sale in Ko-fi or whatever. So anyhow, cover, I made a little scalloped border. The covers are bigger than the pages. I just thought it needed a little oomph. This was cut out. It was from I think it was from a 4x6 cut apart. And I just cut it out and inked around the edges. It's not the exact same egg shape as my album, but it works. I did cut this yellow border from the paper as well. And of course, I added a little rectangle and used my cinch to bind it. I used orange coils. Isn't that cool? I didn't do anything too fancy on the front. I was going to put ribbon on it because I had this adorable Easter bunny ribbon. Wait, let me show you. It's one of those things that I've had in my stash for a while and haven't been able to use it. It came from the Dollar Tree. It's like Easter bunny shaped ribbon. One of these days I'll use it. I like to use stuff up. I don't like it to sit for too long. I used this in another album this year, but boy, it's so bright. But anyhow, so let me show you the inside. This was from the sticker sheet. I just cut it and added it as a sort of a belly band. This was a cut apart. I cut it a little shorter than 4x6, so it can go in there. You could add a photo to the back of that. This was a 3x4 card that I just actually folded in half. I put a little magnet inside this and on the bottom here, so it stays closed. Put a little sticker of a flower there. Every bunny welcome here, so of course you could put photos there. Inside here, I fussy cut a little bunny, and I added a magnet underneath the foam dimensional tape I have on here, and then put it down like this. So this was a piece that was, actually it's upside down, but I'm not saying. If you look real close, you'll see the flowers upside down, but if I didn't tell you, you wouldn't notice. And I thought, all right, that's great. I can just score it here because it was on the bottom of the page where the branding strip was. And then I realized on this side of the branding strip was writing, so I couldn't use it. So I ended up putting a cut apart right here, so you could put a photo on top of there or just leave it the way it is. I added a little sticker onto some cardstock and fussy cut around it, and it makes a cute little tuck spot. Don't you love those little bunnies? They're just so cute. So here I took some more paper and just scored it 2 3/4 and made it just a little folder, and I glued it just on 2 sides and stuck that in the top. Looks sort of like an egg until you pull it out and you say, oh, it's a basket. Just something cute. Made a belly band. That's from a branding strip. I just glued it on 2 sides after I fussy cut it to be the same egg shape, and then added a couple of little cut aparts inside the belly band. But you could add photos inside the belly band or add photos to the backs of these or even the front of that, as well as adding a couple of photos for inside here. I did not add any kind of closure, but once you have the page closed, it's no big deal. When I cut out the paper on the Cricut, I also cut out a little piece to make a little pocket here and added just to cut apart. And this one I just added the cut apart with a bunny sticker on there. Again, you could add a photo to it or just leave that the way it is. Added a couple of stickers to here. This I fussy cut from a cut apart and just glued it on the bottom so you can use it as a tuck spot. And the same here, I put another basket. Now this one came from a sticker that I put on paper. I glued this down so that can be a spot to put a photo. And then here, this closes. I do have a little teeny magnet inside here. And when I say a teeny magnet, so these are teeny magnets. These are an eighth, maybe 3/16. I mean, you can see they're small. I get my magnets from Total Elements. There is a link in the description box. I've gotten these small sizes and then I'm like, well, what am I going to do with it? It works for small albums like this because you're not going to put a whole bunch of things in here. You'll only put 1 or 2 pictures, and so it still will close. I have this little cut apart tucked into this cute little cut apart. And that's it. I just have a couple of pages in here. This came from a branding strip, and that's the name of the collection. So that is it. Now let me show you real quick how to do this on your Cricut. All right, so let's start with images. I have these eggs already here. I'm going to add them to my canvas. Yeah, those aren't the ones I want. Never mind. I'm going to search for other eggs. And of course, I don't have the Cricut Design Space thing where you pay money for it. So I always look for something that's free. So it might not be the most perfect thing. Let's delete these, but it's going to work. All right, let's put some on the canvas and make them bigger. But I only want the one egg. I don't want the one with the zigzag in the middle, so I'm going to cut that apart. So here's a square. Let me just change the color so you can see the difference of it. And then I'll make it a little bigger and just slice that other egg off of my canvas. I'm sure there's another way of doing it, but that's how I do it. Let's delete these guys. Go away. Okay, I will highlight this by just grabbing the 2 of them, and you know that they're both grabbed. You need 2 of them to slice. And so now everything in purple is going to go away. Just click it, delete, click, delete. And now I have my 1 egg. So it's 4.75 tall. I'm going to make the album a little bigger than 5.5. So the main pages are going to be 5.5. So I'm going over to the sizing and change that. So that's going to be the base page. I do need to have a little square to attach everything. Now you could just use the egg shape, but I'm going to have really a rectangle at the side. Of course, I changed the color of it. I'm going to change this square to a rectangle. I want it 3 inches by 1 inch. 3 inches. I'm just going to go over to where it says more and click on the size. Change that to 3. Hit enter. And then I want it 1 inch. Go back. Change this to 1. Enter. And that's 1 inch. So I do need to attach this to the egg, but before I do that, I want to make sure I have an egg the right size so I can cut my pattern paper. So before I attach it, let me click on the egg. Let's move this out of the way. And duplicate it. And then now we will add this. So I'm just going to weld it together. And there we go. So that is my egg, and that gives you room to either use ring binders or a cinch or something like that. All right, now I'm going back to this original egg, or to the one with the the line on it. And make it just a little bigger. Let me show you. We'll arrange it differently. Put the yellow in the front so you can see that once you cut the pattern paper with the yellow, the orange, which I would cut in white, is going to be just a little bit bigger so you have an outline. Okay, let's move the yellow out of the way. I'm going to duplicate it. I should have duplicated it, but I didn't. There we go. I'm duplicating the white because I'm going to cut 6 of those because there will be 6 pages in the album that will be white. Now, actually I made 7 because I need one a little bit bigger for the covers. So instead of 575, I'm going to make it 585. It didn't take because I didn't hit enter. Let's try it again. Okay, go over to more. Click on the size. Keep it locked because you want it to, all of it be bigger. All right, 585. Oh, but you know what I realized? I don't have an egg shape for the cover. So we'll take this extra egg that I have and change the size of it. So that's 5.5. And make it 575. Let's just make sure that fits. Bring it to front. It's a little bit too small for me, so I'm just going to grab the corner. I don't know why I can't grab this corner. I'll grab the bottom corner and make it a little bit smaller. And that's good. That's good for the cover. So now I'll duplicate that 3 times. So I have for the front and back of each one. And I really should change the color of that just so I know what it's part of. So when I'm doing colors, it makes sense if I keep it in the same color family. So I'm going to make it a light purple. I'm going to try to grab this one. Whoops, I don't want to change the size. Go back. Get this one yellow one. There we go. No, I still don't have it. I'll go over to the side. Click on it. Change the color. Oh, I need to duplicate it first. And now I'll change the color to the purple. I didn't duplicate it. So today is just not my day of computering. So see how this isn't as, it needs to be 5. It needs to be a little bit smaller. So I'll duplicate another one. Go back and change it to 5.5. Enter. Okay. There we go. Now I'll change the color of this to a light orange and then duplicate this. So if I have 6 pages, I'll need front and back, so I'll need 12 of them. So that's it. That's how I make my albums. Just now hit make, but of course I have to change the paper, so I might want to duplicate it several times in different colors because I might want one with carrots on it and one with flowers on it or whatever. And you can make as many or as little pages as you want. You could have 4 pages in it and a front and back cover. I'm stopping my recording and that is it. That is how I make my cover or my egg-shaped album using my Cricut machine. I hope this was helpful. Hope it wasn't too fast. It was a pretty simple explanation, but just give you an overall idea on how to make a shaped mini album. Thanks for watching. Have a fabulous day.